A man armed with a knife has attacked a group of people in a park in the French town of Annecy. 5 people, including children, have sustained injuries, 3 of them in critical condition. Let's cross over to Paris, where our correspondent Rami Mazuri is joining us now with more details. Rami, what do you have to share with us and our viewers?
Well, it's really breaking news. There's not a whole lot of information. You've given the information about it was at a park, and we have 3, perhaps 2 kids in critical condition, 4, perhaps 5 people who have been hurt. They have revealed who the alleged attacker is. It's a 32-year-old Syrian asylum seeker in France. And in April, he was actually granted asylum status in Sweden. So that's something that's going to be sure to sort of fan the far-right flames of ethnic xenophobia. Macron has been trying to push a very, very far-right immigration plan, but he was trying to do that this spring, possibly as a distraction to the ongoing pension age hike protests, but he has not been able to cobble together enough of a majority, so that has been tabled until this fall. It's certain to be very controversial once that actually gets underway. It's important to note here that many of France's terrorists have been homegrown over the past decade, ever since the Charlie Hebdo attacks. Most of them have been France. And most of them have been French, and most of them have been returning from. Of course, France fomented that crisis in Syria that lasted so long and was so devastating. You have, for example, France's foreign minister saying that al-Nusra was doing, quote, good things on the ground. You have the case of Lafarge Cement operating in rebel-held territory and creating, defensive fortifications across Syria. And Lafarge is a Swiss-French company, and they have been tried for crimes against humanity. That actually has been quite a story. We have covered that over the years many, many times. And it should also be noted that all of the terrorists who, except the mentally ill ones, specifically cited France's foreign intervention in Syria and Mali and elsewhere, places like Libya, Afghanistan, and Iraq. They cited them as their justification. So it's still very early. We will have to see if this is a mentally ill person. It's obviously someone who has many problems that they would attack children like this. But we will see if it has a political justification or if it's just a case of a mentally ill person. We should talk about the very curious timing of this attack, because just last night and today there will be protests around the fact that the 5-month-long popular protest against a 2-year hike to the retirement age has ended. It ended. It's going to end definitively today with Parliament refusing to get involved and accepting Macron's executive decree. So it's been a very, very tense time here in France, and today is the culmination of 5 months of protests. So it's in many ways, this is going to be a very welcome distraction for the French government. So it's certainly very, very curious timing. It reminds me of week 4 of the Yellow Vest protests back in December 2018. There was a attack at a Christmas festival in Strasbourg, and this is something that many people said, well, this is something that seems very, very curiously timed. We can also go back to, it was in the spring of 2019, Macron was set to finally utter the words yellow vest in public after about 4 or 5 months of protests. Hours before he was set to give a speech, what happened? The famous Saint Michel of Notre Dame Church, Europe's most popular house of worship, was set in flames. And this is certainly right up there where there is this very, very surprising distraction of terrorism right at a time of intense political controversy and major social unrest.
Sure.
However, we should say that France has just been in major social unrest for over a decade. So perhaps the coincidence is created by the fact that the French government under Macron and Hollande, they have been so unpopular that there's just always social unrest. And then when this occasional terrorist attack does happen, well, it's coinciding with unrest. So well, we will just have to get some more information, but certainly it's a welcome distraction from a embattled government.
Thanks a lot, Rami. Press TV's Rami Mazari joining us from the French capital, Paris.